Let's talk about the Melissa Witt story. 1994 abduction and murder of this 19-year-old girl. Now, there is a Hulu docuseries that I just watched, and it's a 4-part series called At Wit's End, The Hunt for a Killer. Now, I'm going to first get into the story, but then I'm going to talk about the documentary itself, the doc-series itself. The story is, and if you're a true crime junkie, you've probably seen other docuseries or, Datelines or something about this story, because I knew of this story before I watched this. And Melissa Witt was a girl who drove her car to meet her mom at a bowling alley. And between the time she got out of her car and attempted to walk to the bowling alley door, she was abducted, then murdered. They found her body like well over a month later. Some animal trackers found her body, and they never found who did it. The investigation, despite all of the law enforcement, the community that was dedicated, the significant reward that they were offering, they were never actually able to solve this case. And this 4-part docuseries claims to have received new information, and they've narrowed it down to possibly 2 suspects. The first suspect is Charles Ray Vines, and he was known as the River Valley Killer. So they believe that there are some similarities to cases from his crimes to Melissa itself. There was another person of interest, Travis Crouch, who lived not far, and he had a criminal history, and he also was investigated. But the link there was never really established to me. But, they go into both of these things. Now, let's get into why I hated this. I hated this whole entire docuseries. It's 4 parts. I honestly forgot I even watched it. There's nothing new. There's no conclusion, by the way. So, spoiler alert, it's the same bullshit being talked over and over again. There is a lot of repetitive content. There's no reason why this had to be 4 episodes. There's a lot of pacing issues. And honestly, it's overall boring. There's a lot of confusing to the narration of all of this. There's a lot of jumping around backwards and forwards, and it's very, very off-putting to me. I don't know what was the motive behind or why somebody or what story they wanted to tell from this docuseries, but it did not land for me at all. There's so many unanswered questions here that I feel like they did the documentary too soon. The production itself is not great either. Look, overall, it's just not a great docuseries. Were there some interesting things? Maybe. Would I even recommend this to watch, even if you're a true crime junkie? If you want to be frustrated, by all means.